Hello everybody, Shadefire here, and I've finally gotten around to playing Prey, so I thought I'd do a little look at it, since I'm a few hours in, and we'll kind of explore the station. Now you can see I'm about 4 hours in, though because this game is fairly open, some of that has just been spent kind of poking around where I could access. Alright, so here we are in my office, and we are aboard the Talos 1 space station, which is owned by the corporation that our brother and we... I was going to say I, but it's a little confusing here. There are multiple levels of your character. Basically, you pick the gender of Morgan Yu, who is the brother of Alex Yu, and the two of you are scientists for Transtar.
Your office is relatively secure. Come back if you need to rest, or use the fabricator.
And among other things, you are working on neuromods, which basically allow you to slot other people's skills into people who don't have those skills, so that you can suddenly be good at whatever that person was. And they were being developed on the space station. We were part of some tests that required us to insert and remove neuromods over and over again and go through the same routines, because every time you take out a neuromod, it resets your memory to before you put it in. And now we have left ourselves a video message that says we need to blow up the station, along with all of the Typhon, the aliens that have broken out on the station, so that the neuromods and the Typhon DNA that are used to make those neuromods never make it back to Earth. So I think we're all caught up now, and I am currently at the point just after you watch the complete video that gives you that objective. I'm sure that objective will change in some way throughout the game, because it seems a little early to just give you your endgame goal. But anyway, we gotta head to the psychotronics department, an area I haven't been to yet. Essentially, you're kind of given free reign to explore the station, but obviously there are certain things gated off by progress and getting certain keycards and items. But that said, I have found quite a lot of stuff just by looking around with what I could right now. I mean, you can see I've got all these weapons already, and it's only been a few hours, so I think I poked around pretty good. Alright, do I want to craft anything before we go? I guess I'll craft a few neuromods. You can see you use crafting resources of 4 types, and you can get those by sticking junk into the recycler over there. And the purple one, the exotic materials that you use for making neuromods, are what you get from the parts that enemies drop, or at least Typhon enemies. And I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to have the blueprint for this early, but again, that's just something I got by looking around. And using some of the traversal abilities that you can unlock. Alright, I think one more should be good. That, and then some pistol bullets, because it's the only ammo blueprint I have for my guns. Alright, so... I only got 30. Make another pack if I can. I don't really see a reason to hold on to these resources, because I'm gonna find more junk to grind up. Alright, let's see here. So you do have a limited inventory, and as you upgrade your suit, you get extra kind of rows on the outside. So it's a classic kind of inventory Tetris thing, but not really, because only the weapons seem to take up multiple slots. Alright, so how many neuromods did I make? 5? Actually, I think I only made 4, and January gave me one. January is a robotic operator, but it's based on Morgan's personality and has Morgan's voice. Extra space would be nice. There's also, I guess, another one of these ability trees that I don't have unlocked yet, which gives you all the Typhon abilities that they showed off in demos for this game. Actually, it looks like there's 3 more down here. But yeah, that's the stuff like being able to turn into objects and whatnot. All your kind of psychic powers. So unlike System Shock, which this game is very inspired by, you don't get the option to pick, you know, psi abilities over regular abilities early on. There's also a lot of emphasis on, hey, you should probably sneak, but I don't know. It makes sense, though, because some of the enemies are pretty dangerous, even like the early enemies, like the humanoid Typhon that shoots rapid-fire, high-damage projectiles at you. This would also be handy, because obviously the wrench lets you save ammo. I guess we'll get that. Now, I'm wondering what the advantage to having that twist on the wrench is. Do I have any junk? Just that cigar. Okay, let's actually get some exploring done and get out of this fucking office. I think we're gonna stop at the trauma center on the way down. Oh, there's a human Typhon. Now, I guess this is an upgraded version of the regular humanoid one because, you know, obviously the name is not filled out yet, and I guess I need the scanner before I can actually fill that out. Pretty good variety of the stuff I've run into so far. Definitely some of it that I shouldn't have been fighting when I did, including a giant robot mass that was floating around in space. But I used the gun that I found next to it to kill it, and have no ammo for it anymore. Okay, so there is a corpse in here I think I'm looking for. Objectives. Yeah, but there was some nasty-looking Typhon in here earlier, so I didn't want to poke around. But I think I can probably take him now. Okay. Also, some of the phantoms do have actual people's names. And I guess that's because the Typhon have a way of either copying the genetic material of people they kill or just turning into them after being attacked. But definitely not all the corpses turn into... Ooh, this one's on fire. He's probably stronger. Oh, I hit the wall. So the glue cannon is good for pinning him down. Oh, shit. He's gonna start shooting fire at me. That chair did not do a lot of damage. Oh, boy. Don't want to fight both of them at the same time. Do we have a... Nope. A lot of doors will have a manual lock that you can turn on, and they can't get through them. However, they did lose track of me. What's this dead girl? On the center. I guess she's in here somewhere, but it doesn't say where. A lot of explosive canisters here, too. Whoa. He went flying and then teleported. And I have no idea where he went. So, that's cool. Alright. Do we have anything useful in here? Is there any reason to be in this room at all? Oh, there's some biohazardous waste. Just what I needed. I like the weird rectangular flashlight you have because you're... I guess it's like your helmet light. Okay. A corpse with hazardous waste in it. I'm guessing that stuff breaks down into organic material. Where did that Typhon go? He just, like, fucked off when he blew up. And the other one's gone, too. Wait. Okay, no. I was wondering if that was the person we were looking for. Because I guess corpses are kind of a collectible in this, too, since there is a security system that lists all of the employees on the station, and you can kind of look for them one by one. Oh, I guess I killed both of them? Wait, why are there two copies of the same corpse? Just pieces, I guess? Well, I definitely killed one of them. Medkit. Sure, I'll take those.
Requesting new operator.
So there are a few of these around that I've seen.
Transtar Pyramid
maybe I can help you.
490 medical class operator ready to deploy. Please stand clear of aperture.
They either spawn a medical operator or a engineering one. Medical one will give you health, and the engineering one will fix your suit.
Superficial injuries. Nothing a portable medical kit can handle. This won't take long. All done. You can fill out a service questionnaire at the front desk.
Alright. Hey, look. It might be a real oh, never mind. Looks like we found that other Typhon. Nothing my shotgun can't handle. I lied.
Please clear aperture of debris.
The shotgun is not terrible in this. It's pretty handy, and it has the ability to knock down enemies, which is definitely its best feature. Well, so much for that medical operator. Upgrade kit, blue canister. What do I want to use this upgrade kit on? And also, where did it end up? There it is. I think I have most of the... Yeah, just recoil, which I don't really need because I never fire in rapid succession. I guess we'll go with handling? Movement speed while firing. That doesn't seem that useful, but... range actually might be handy for the glue gun.
Good morning, Talos. Warning. Tampering with administrative controls on workstations or keypads may result in electric shock. If you're having trouble accessing a system, please send a help alert to security.
Alright, now let's find out who's in this room. Subject appears disorientated, paranoid. Unsure what his current behavior is due to the incident versus his recent neuromod removals. Okay, he is mind-controlled. I thought I had hacking level 2 already. Alright, well, I guess you can just stay in there for a while. Devise 7324. That might actually be the code for this. Nope. Alright, I guess if we find DeVry's room, which might be in the habitation area, might be able to open it. There's also a lot of, like, maintenance vents and stuff that you can sneak through to get into areas that you can't access otherwise. Well, maybe this is the corpse I'm looking for. Nope. Got a neuromod, though. Take that.
System alert. Repairs needed. Please contact a qualified engineer.
This is where I was hiding earlier. Oop. Haven't looked in here yet.
System alert. Repairs needed. Please contact a qualified engineer.
Okay, so this is the same sort of questionnaire you have to fill out during the simulation testing at the start of the game. What is this thing? Is it a vase? Is it like a keg? Really not sure what that is. Obviously the game has a very kind of retro-future aesthetic, even though it's set in 2030. It's hard not to kind of compare this with Sevastopol. Though, of course, Sevastopol was a lot more run down, so there was a lot less of this kind of fancy, you know, varnished wood and all that around. Crew station for longer than 3 months. I guess that test at the start is supposed to test our mental health. Same subject over time. So yeah, they're trying to see how much screwing with the neuromods was changing your brain. Dr. Calvino. Right, I have seen Dr. Calvino. He is floating in space as a corpse. After part of his station, or his part of the station got breached and vented.
Tell me about the dream. The dream. Yes. It's always in my lab, and I'm standing in front of the glass. Are you alone? Yes. What do you see in the glass? Nothing. At first. I don't want to turn it on, but I can't help it. I have to turn it on. When I do, it's like the heart of a black hole, an immense darkness. There's something swimming in the black. I catch glimpses, edges of the shape. I feel as though it wants to come through onto my side. I have to turn off the glass before it sees me, but I always wake before I can.
What does it look like? The shape in the glass?
Nothing.
Does it look like this image here? Dr. Calvino. Does it look like this?
No, that's... No, I don't...
Are you sure?
Where did you get that drawing? Have you been spying on me? I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Sarai, come in.
Sounds like he might have been
It's
dreaming
Sarah,
about wherever the Typhon
but you
come
can call
from.
me Chief.
I mean, they kind of have that same black shapelessness to them. As though they are not completely in our dimension.
Zara. Matt.
Matthias, please. Forgive me, but your name is Sarai in the file.
We've been over this. My mother Americanized it. Will we be spending the next 59 minutes like this? Because we could cut it short right now.
We've discussed your mother. I thought perhaps today we could speak
System
more
alert.
about the career
Repair is
choices
needed.
that
Please
were
contact a qualified
born
engineer.
of that.
Serving in the military wasn't an excuse to get away from her nagging, Matt. I was just... restless.
And you're better now? Not restless?
I'm fine.
Because your last tour of duty was the evacuation, and reports from there...
I saved as many as I could. For every soldier we lost, we were able to save 100 civilians.
Yes. Tragic. Still,
System alert.
to lose
Repair
soldiers
is needed.
under your
Please
command...
contact a
The
qualified
cost
engineer.
was worth it, both in lives and the unification of the region.
Taking on a losing battle like that, fighting, not enemy troops, but the equivalent of a natural disaster.
It wasn't natural, it was man-made. It prepared me for here, Dr. Cole. Because this station, it's the same thing, a disaster waiting to happen. We are well-trained and poorly equipped. The research
System
is
alert.
dangerous.
Repair is needed.
Keeping
Please
secrets
contact a
secret
qualified
is
engineer.
dangerous.
All
I'm
systems
sure you would
operational.
agree.
Thank you.
These psych evals are a waste of time.
A waste of time. Like back on Earth?
That was different.
Was it?
Anger, issues with authority.
I don't know if I can actually fix the
A year
power
of
for this.
counseling doesn't sound like a trivial matter.
Those files were supposed to be closed.
Are you angry?
I'm getting there.
Any new relationships?
No,
I thought you and Miss Foy, the sanitation engineer, were seen together.
she's a sanitation boss, and we're not in a relationship. Not anymore.
Ah. And this separation, did it involve anger? Issues with authority?
Screw this! I'm done. Report me to the U's, I don't care. They're putting the station at risk just like Transtar North and just like the Earth side. You assholes will bury it with your psych eval bullshit. And another thing.
Alright, so here's the crew roster. Who are we looking for? Bellamy? They're listed by where they work, though, not where they ended up, because you can see location. So, I don't actually remember what department Bellamy is. Buckley. Also, I might have found Bellamy's little, like, GPS collar thing right on this desk. I'm not sure if that was the same person. Randall Wood, 4. Arboretum. Not seeing a Bellamy at a glance. Bridge crew. Psychotronics. Thought it was Neuromod division that they were in. Bookman. Bellamy's corpse is in the trauma center. Well, if it's in here, it's behind one of these locked doors. Oh, there's DeVries. But it doesn't have a keypad, so I don't know what that 4-digit code's going to do for me. I mean, I already tried this, right? I didn't just screw up the number? Yeah. Alright, well, let's put a pin in that one for now. Oop. There's a mimic above me. Mimics are kind of the most basic of the Typhon. Those are the ones that turn into chairs and coffee cups and stuff. And it's an upgraded mimic, so it'll take a little bit more punishment.
Good morning, Talos. Our resident counselor, Dr. Cole, would like to encourage anyone experiencing symptoms of disturbed sleep, chronic stress, or anxiety to schedule an appointment in the trauma center.
No alien material detected.
The turrets are handy, but they're also pretty weak. It looks like you can eventually upgrade them, because I'm pretty sure they get one-shotted by the standing Typhon. Phantoms, I guess. Door override. Release. Well, I already found this guy's not D&D character sheet. Ooh, some interstation gossip. Alright, so this one's got an error. I'm pretty sure that means the only way to open it is by hacking it. I don't have the skill yet, so let's go. Oh, is Psychotronics not a separate area?
Talos 1. I know your memory's shot full of holes, but you left instructions that the Typhon should break contain Alex as a private escape pod. You made a copy of his launch key and hid it in the Neuromod division, along with a supply cache. I'll transmit the location to your map. I'll contact you again when you've got the key.
Alright, I guess maybe this is giving us our alternate ending path to escape rather than destroying ourselves and the station. Alright. Those electrical junctions can do a lot of damage too, so you can't really just ignore them. Even though I've got a electricity damage reduction thing in my suit. Because in addition to your character abilities, you also have, what is it, chipsets for your suit, and it looks like you get more of them than you can equip considering you have a limited number of slots, but I've only found 3 so far. And they're all the kind of passive upgrades you'd expect from this sort of game, stuff like being able to move faster while sneaking. There's a recycler, don't really need that right now. Okay, I've been on the other side of this door. So is there any reason to fix this thing? I mean, there's nothing really in this room. Guess I might as well. I do find a lot of spare parts. I like that what it turns them into basically looks like the unfinished materials cubes from, like, Subnautica. You know, the stuff that's supposed to be replaced with real models. Maximum security area.
Suit integrity damage.
Wow, that did a lot of damage. And that's pretty much the reason why I'm always out of pistol ammo. Because it really doesn't do a lot of damage. Should probably repair my suit. Always look under the stairs. There's always crafting materials under there. And what did he get killed by? Well, that loading tooltip actually told me something I didn't know yet, which is that the Typhon were first encountered in 1959 in this game's timeline. The game definitely has a alternate history thing going on, with, for example, Kennedy's assassination failing, and a kind of shared space race with the Russians.
Psychotronics is the opposite of safe, Morgan. What are you after? Someone's helping you. Is it Michaela? Elazar?
I can eavesdrop on your brother's messages. We're in agreement on this one. Get through this place fast as possible. You're looking for a maintenance airlock to a utility tunnel called the Gut. It'll take you all the way to the top of the station.
Running checks. SimLab secure. Well, except for Igwe, but he'll be up all night. Speaking of up, did you see the photos of his daughter, Maya?
But that's not his daughter. It's his wife.
Are you kidding me?
No, she died. Well, when Igwe was younger.
It's in his records.
Christ, you've seen his records?
Yeah. During the security checks, looking for those
I
red
wonder where
flag
this
sites that
mimic
the
could have
brass is up in
gone.
arms about. Apparently, came home, found her dead on the floor. Aneurysm. Spend your life studying the brain. The brain takes its toll. With everything else going on at the time, with the shaming.
Christ.
You already said that, but I don't think he heard you. He's not looking at this station, that's for sure.
You get a surprise attack bonus too if you hit mimics while they're still disguised. I have no idea what this thing is. Okay, can't get into there. Usually some handy ammo and weapon upgrades in these security stations. So like here's an area where my unlocked abilities actually let me access what I couldn't get to otherwise. In games like this I always tend to try to focus on some of these path opening abilities before other ones, you know, hacking and whatnot. Ooh. Is it not dead? Is it just like stuffed in the toilet by that wrench? I get the feeling if I take it, it's gonna pop out. And just like the junk crafting materials, you can find extra copies of the weapons you already have and just break them down into material. Okay, that goes down.
Vital signs critical.
Well, that was certainly a bit sloppy. Did someone just like pull up all of the tiles in this place? Well, so much for this being an area that I couldn't access without that ability. Where was that hole in the ground?
Psychoscope required beyond this point.
Alright. Well, I don't have a psychoscope yet, so I guess we're not going that way. I'm pretty sure the psychoscope is just the thing you use to scan enemies. Alright. Can't get in there. Handy medkit. I really gotta upgrade my medkit efficiency because you really don't get a lot of health from it. I'm not sure why sometimes they'll just turn into something right in front of you. Like, oh, I'm hidden now. There's a psychoscope.
The psychoscope was a breakthrough. Apart from neuromods,
Oh, and you have chips for your psychoscope
Most important
too.
tech on Talos 1. Use it to scan the Typhon organisms if you want to learn what makes them tick. You invented it, by the way.
I don't think System Shock had any sort of enemy scanning thing, did it? That was only a Bioshock thing. So I wonder if there's any advantage to scanning an enemy that you've already scanned. I think there was a mimic under my feet because I was taking damage from behind too. A null wave transmitter would be a helpful thing, but I haven't found any of those yet, so I can prevent him from using their shoot ability.
The psychoscope was a breakthrough. Apart from neuromods, it's the most important tech on Talos 1. Use it to scan the Typhon organisms if you want to learn what makes them tick. You invented it, by the way.
Okay, so there is a reason to scan them multiple times. And that would have been the mimic that I landed on. Alright. So, let's try to boogie on past this guy if he's up here.
Psychoscope required beyond this point.
Specimens required.
The annoying thing about them is they can still use their shot when they're covered in glue. I don't think they know how
Alright,
to use
Morgan,
these
I
things.
know I can't make you stay put, but you're gonna die down there if you don't listen to me. You need to calibrate this microscope. Try scanning the Typhon specimens around you. Once you get enough scan data, the labs will open. More importantly, you'll be able to install Typhon-based neuromods. You'll be unstoppable. That's what this is all about, Morgan. You spent 3 years...
New psionic aptitude available.
Good. Sending you the code to a safe in Director Kallstrom's office. I'm certain he's hidden neuromods there. Use them to install one of the Typhon abilities. Do that, and maybe you'll live long enough for me to see your face again.
I'm wondering if maybe using neuromods with Typhon abilities affects your ending path, maybe?
Alex, I figured it out. Just too late.
Graves, are you still in fabrication?
The receptor molecules, the exotic neurotransmitters, we didn't synthesize them. And there's no terrestrial source.
Graves, don't do anything drastic. You know me. You know I always have a contingency plan.
We've been shoving it into our skulls. It all comes from them. But you never...
I'm going to send someone to help you.
I need to get this out now. Oh God, but the neuromods, they can still be fabricated.
Graves, do not touch the neuromod licenses. Do you hear me?
Is that playing in the conference room? They're not shapeshifters, they're just dimensional travelers that can project an image into another dimension of themselves. Much simpler. Okay, so I would have got the blueprint for neuromod fabrication here anyway.
Morgan, a warning. If you scan enough Typhon organisms, you'll be able to install neuromods that are powerful, but they're the reason we're in this mess. For one thing, the station's defensive turrets will identify you as an alien threat. There might be worse consequences I can't yet see. I don't want you to lose yourself.
Okay, that seems like they're straight up trying to be like, hey, if you use these, something bad will happen. Which, I don't know, I kind of hate if that does lock you into a bad ending. Especially since that's a lot of the weird fun abilities. Okay, this leads back into the main room.
Hello.
Research complete.
Oh, and I guess the science operators give you back psi, now that I actually have the meter. I probably should go down and look around in that office underneath.
Hello, Dr. Q.
But I'll come back to that later.
Hello.
This is the other use for the glue cannon. Just getting around.
Suit integrity damaged. More specimens required.
Alright, well, I could probably keep looking around here forever, because that's what I do in these kinds of games. I kind of explore all the nooks I can reach. But I think that gives you a good idea of what this is. I didn't really show any of the Typhon abilities, but
No Typhon material detected.
I don't think they dramatically changed the game. They just give you some new options for fights. Is that a Typhon heart? Anyhow, I've been Shadefire, this is Prey, and I have been enjoying my time with it so far, and I kind of wish I had played it earlier. But I had heard that when it came out that it didn't really do anything too new. It just did a lot of familiar System Shock 2 type stuff well. And I was like, oh, well, you know, there's other stuff coming out, so I'll hold off on that. But, you know, it was on sale for half price, so I'm like, sure, I'll jump into it, I guess. And I'm glad I did, because it's pretty fun. And it definitely doesn't have any of the issues that I heard it had at launch, though that was mostly, I think, aiming with PS4 stuff that was eventually patched anyway. Alright, folks, take care, and I'll see you around some other space station with some other terrible alien organism overrunning it. Until then, take care.